everybody, and welcome back to another episode of Camp Confidence.
Conversations about confidence, self improvement, and success between two Filipino entrepreneurs on two different journeys.
I'm Ayn Bernos, the founder of Morena the Label.
And I am Rizza LANA-SEBASTIAN, the founder and CEO of LANA-PH and mink.ph.
For today's episode, we are talking about relationships part 2.
Grabe, since we got a lot of questions last week, grabe, thank you so much. So, sobrang nag-enjoy din talaga ako sa
I know the
questions nila.
chika.
Grabe, all them chika galore. So,
Nakakatawa kasi when I was editing, as in pinakinggan ko the whole thing from start to finish because it was like Gossip Girl. Charot.
back.
But anyway, before we start the discussion, kumustahan lang tayo a little bit because a lot of things have been going on. So, kamusta
Yep.
ka naman? What are your wins of the week?
Ako naman, I was actually thinking about my win for this week. Sabi ko, oh my gosh, wala. But then, this morning, gumising ako ng 7 a.m. today. I'm so happy. Kasi for the entire week, siguro yun yung win ko. Kasi for the entire week, I've been feeling so sluggish. Alam mo yun? Para, sobrang
Yeah.
stressful kasi ng work this week. And ayun, ang daming ganap. So, I was working so much. Nawala talaga ako sa routine ko as in, siguro natutulog ako mga 3 a.m., 4 a.m.
Oh
for
my
the past few
gosh.
days. And it's just really not me, you know naman na I'm a morning person and I was waking up so late. I've been eating crappy food. Alam mo yun, parang medyo tinorture ko ng bongga yung sarili ko. And I was getting a lot of breakouts because of it. So, yeah, I think waking up at 7 a.m. is a win for me this week. So,
That's so funny because I wake up at 8 and call it a win.
why not, di ba? Kanya-kanya
Because
naman tayo ng
I'm
wins.
Ako nga, I'm a recovering night owl. So I'm trying to get into, like a morning person kind of routine. And I've been waking up, like my usual self would probably wake up around 12, 11, and that's like early. So since I started working on yun nga, ideology and Morena again,
Congratulations!
gumigising na ako maaga. Thank you so
Oh
much.
my gosh,
Ay,
grabe.
so, update lang namin sa inyo guys. Ideology is launched. So, the website is now live and Morena the label is now under Ideology. If you can see our shirts, if you're
We're
watching on
twinning
YouTube,
today.
ayan, twinning kami ng Morena shirts
Hello.
namin today. Basically, Ideology is a merch platform for creators who have advocacies na they want to amplify. Ayan. So, yeah, we launched 3 collections last night, as in at midnight. So,
Grabe.
ayun nga, magkausap nga kami ni Madam Riza. Sabi ko, hello, Madam. We're
Grabe.
live.
I'm so proud of you, grabe. Parang, for the past few episodes, parang ito pa lang yung pinag-uusapan na parang, alam mo yun, parang,
Yes.
I'm so happy I kind of witnessed this happening. Alam mo yun, parang,
Alam mo
I'm such
yan,
a
from
proud
the
mama.
beginning.
Alam mo yun, grabe.
Grabe talaga kasi kinukwento ko nga kay Riza yung transition of going from, I had my own small merch shop and then now I'm producing for other creators as well. So, medyo big step siya because I'm working with other people na, which is kind of weird because for the longest time, I've been doing everything myself. Ako yung client, ako yung boss, ako bahala sa anything. Pero ngayon na there's other people involved, now I need to be accountable for a lot of things. And it definitely feels real, even though it's in the middle of the pandemic and very overwhelming. Pero sabi nga nila, overwhelm is the abundance that you ask for. Amen.
Oh, man. Grabe talaga. Tsaka ano, ang amazing din na parang you produce as you go. Alam mo yun, parang with all the fast fashion and stuff, parang once you order, that's only when Ayin's team will do it for you. So, how convenient and
Yes.
how sustainable, di ba?
Yeah, kasi ano talaga, ang mahirap sa merch usually pagka nagpa-produce ng merch, any creator, any artist, any team, usually you buy it in bulk para mababa yung cost and syempre para hindi ka malugi. Whereas with ours, our business model is more yun nga, print on demand siya. So, when your customer orders, diretso na sa amin. So, kami na magsa-stock, kami na yung mag-ship, kami na everything. So, we take the load off of the creators, so hindi na sila maglalabas ng malaking capital just to produce the initial inventory that may or may not be sold anyway. So, might as well just produce everything kapag bayad na ng customer. So, ayun, just super
Yes.
happy.
Love it. What's your
And,
Instagram?
oh, our Instagram is ideology.studio. I've never actually introduced myself. I should change my intro to founder of Morena the Label and Ideology Studio. Wow!
Love it!
Nakakatawa.
Tumele, sorry sana. Mom, sorry. Ayan.
Hey, okay, sige na nga. Balik na tayo sa ating topic of the week. Kasi,
Yes.
as usual, heavy na
Mhm.
naman to.
Let's dive right into the juicy topic of this week, relationships part 2. Sige, start tayo with the first question.
Okay, so our first question is from Patricia Andrade. Did you experience dealing with an annoying ex? Gusto ko itong questions na to medyo, ano, pang single girl.
Okay,
Nakaka-relate
push,
na ako
go.
dito.
Mm-mm.
So, ako, annoying ex, not an official ex, but
Uh,
I've dealt with an annoying guy from the past. Na,
mm,
and I think the easiest way to go about it is avoidance and, outright communication. If you're not into that person, tell them outright, especially if they're
true.
pushy. Because there are a lot of people who will look at pushiness as persistence when it's like, hello, boundary. So ako, block and avoid, especially after I've communicated na, I want nothing to do with you. Goodbye. Ayun.
True.
What's your
Totoo.
answer to that?
Ako, well, I hope he's not harassing you or anything, by the way, Patricia. But if it's through a text or a call, yan nga, you have to be clear and be straight with him na parang, ang kulit mo. Pwede mo, parang, okay lang na sabihin mong ganon. But, yeah, oo nga, just communicate and be straight up. Sabihin mo na ayoko na nga.
May personal experience ka ba dyan? Or ano?
Wala naman. Wala naman. Wala.
Buti ka pa.
Siguro
There
kasi
was
ang
one
sulat
time,
ko din.
maybe,
I mean,
this,
ewan ko, medyo
mm,
straightforward talaga ako with men na ano.
that's good. Because what they say about me is I smile a lot. As in, my resting face is very friendly and I smile a lot. So people think that because I'm smiling, I'm welcoming, I'm friendly. Well, I am friendly for the most part. But if I'm uninterested, they think it's interest when I'm smiling and friendly. But
Oo,
that's just me
oo.
as a person. So, yeah, I've had to learn to be direct. Kasi nga, my face won't do it for me.
Mm. Sobrang welcoming mo kasi, parang, ewan ko, ako actually sabi nila very hospitable din ang mukha ko. Pero the
Well,
way I
yeah.
talk, medyo direct talaga.
Yeah, maybe no nonsense ka kasi. Yung next
Yeah.
question natin, this is more you.
Yeah, from Eliza Dominguez. Ellie, hello. How important is it to be happily single first before getting married? Ako sobrang important to for me kasi you cannot ever rely on other people to make you feel loved. I mean, yes, it's really nice to be pampered and feel like a queen, but alam mo yun, but above all else, you have to be happy na, hey, I'm like this. Na you have to love yourself wholeheartedly. As in, kahit yung mga annoying parts ng sarili mo, alam mo yun, parang, tsaka it will be fair for you and your partner as well.
Mhm.
How about you?
I definitely agree. Pero hindi naman ako married pa, so I can't really say it from that perspective. But as a happy single, I will not regret ever, having this phase of my life na I'm single, I get to do what I want. I have this phase na I'm not really thinking about anyone else. Because I know that when I do get into a relationship, I will be super invested and I'll always think about the other person. And if I had to do that, agad-agad, like in my early 20s or in my early 20s, if ganun ako in my early 20s, siguro hindi ako ito ngayon. Like, I wouldn't,
Mm.
really wouldn't be here. I wouldn't be an entrepreneur. I wouldn't, yeah, because that's my personality type, especially before my growth period. Kasi
Totoo.
nung na-single ako, dun lang ako natuto mag-let go, have time for myself. Because I used to get my self-esteem from improving my partner's life. It's like, parang ganun, parang doon naka-attach yung self-esteem ko. So,
Oo.
because I learned to be happily single, I've explored another way to find love and self-love and cultivate confidence. So, I think it's very important because who knows what would have happened if nakasal ako nang hindi
Totoo.
ako happy.
'Di ba? Tsaka yun nga, it will be fair for you and your
Mm.
partner. Kasi alam mo yun, kung hindi ka secure, hindi ka happy, hindi ka confident with yourself, parang how can you ever deal with someone else? Alam mo yun?
Yeah. Like,
Ayun.
what are you bringing into the relationship?
Mm.
All right. Our next question. I like this question because it's about careers and relationships from Katrina Santos. How do you handle both work and your relationship when work takes up so much of your time without making them feel like they're on the back burner? Yan, bilang busy ka at gumigising at natutulog ka ng 3 a.m.
Grabe. Ako naman kasi, very open naman ako about it. I'm a self-confessed workaholic. And Joshua is too. I think I'm lucky enough to have a partner who understands my love and passion for work because he really works hard too. As in, sobrang hardworking din niya. Yung work ethics niya, grabe din talaga. And kasi nga he also has a logistics company and he's also very hands-on with Mink and Lana too. Yun nga kinukwento ko kay Ayin na minsan nga we still brainstorm at 2 a.m., 3 a.m. Minsan ang dates namin puro brainstorming about business, ganyan. So, but again, we also set boundaries with work and play. I mean, we still get on dates. Kami kasi, considered as a date na kahit nung pre-COVID pa. Considered na as a date yung parang 1 hour lunch together or just an entire night Netflix, ganyan. Kasi sobrang kailangan din talaga namin mag-reset. And dati, pre-COVID, nung pwede pa mag-travel, we randomly book a quick beach trip to Batangas with friends, ganyan. Tapos ayun nga, uh, yeah, number one is set boundaries with work and play. Then, aside from setting aside time for dates, affirmation is also key. Let your partner know na, hey, I'm just, ganito lang talaga ako. Sabihin mo na workaholic ka, ganyan. And this is me. I love this. I love my work. And I think maintindihan naman niya yun na, alam mo yun, kapag tanggap ka talaga niya kung sino ka na, alam mo yun,
Yeah.
this is really important to me. This is a pillar, my work is a pillar of my life. Parang kapag your partner clearly understands that, parang, alam mo yun, parang at least masaset na rin sa isip niya na, okay, hindi ako magsaselos dahil love talaga niya yung work. This is what
Mm-mm.
fuels her, ganyan.
Yeah.
So, ayun,
What's your love
affirmation,
language?
communication, ha?
Is that affirmation? Is that your love language?
I
Or
think so, I think so. Ano nga ba? Hindi rin kasi ako mag-gifts eh. Parang sobrang, alam mo yun. Siguro affirmation, ikaw ba?
yun yung ano mo, that's your receiving. You like receiving words of affirmation.
Yes.
And
Yes.
then your giving is, what's your giving?
Feeling ko ganun din. Ma-communicate kasi talaga ako. Parang it's not just I love yous. Parang alam mo yun.
Mm-mm.
Parang, mas maalaga talaga. Ganun.
Do
Physically
you
and with
know what
words.
Josh's is?
Ano ba? Gifts.
Gifts you
Mag-gift siya.
receiving niya or
Mm.
giving?
Gifts yung giving niya. Then ang
Mm.
receiving niya is affirmations din.
Oh,
So,
nice. So, at least compatible kayo dun talaga.
mhm.
Yeah, kasi sobrang important ng love languages. And the reason why I asked, kasi usually, when we feel like we're on the back burner, it's because hindi nagko-compatible yung love languages natin with our partner. So, for example, if ako, my love language is words of affirmation, I want to get, words of affirmation from my partner, pero ang binibigay niya sa akin is gifts, then I will still feel taken for granted kahit na yung partner ko. They think, oh, I'm doing my best. Bakit hindi mo na-appreciate? So, if hindi
Oo.
kayo nagko-communicate dun sa expectations nyo, then that's when you guys fall apart. But if you know and you can tell from the get-go, okay, this is how they want to be loved and this is how they show love. Parang you're much better equipped when you think about your expectations, ganyan. Ako kasi words of affirmation ako. My
Mhm.
number one thing is thank you. As in, when people say thank you to me, kasi ang giving ko naman is acts of service. Like, I like, cooking for people, baking for
Aha,
people, I'll drive you, ganyan. As in, I'll do this for you as how I show love.
mhm.
Tapos, what I want in return, like, I don't want you to do me any favors or give me gifts. Basta acknowledge mo lang na nakita mo na may ginawa ako for you, pag
Yes, na parang
ganon.
thank you for
Yeah.
driving me home, mga ganyan.
Yes. Kasi pag hindi talaga, dun talaga ako nagtatawa. Parang ako, hindi mo ba
Teka,
napansin na pinlan ko yung whole day? How dare you? That's when I feel like I'm on the back burner. Pero
yeah,
like, kahit long distance, kahit busy sa work, okay lang sa akin. Basta mag-thank you lang talaga.
true. O, yan ha.
Mhm. So I guess my answer to Kat's question is know their love language and
Yes.
communicate what they are so you can set your expectations. Bam!
Oh well. So on to the next question. Eto, from Novi Flores. Any tips on how to deal with people, especially family, who pressures you to be in a relationship or settle down with someone or marriage? Yeah.
Na-experience mo ba yan before ka
Oo
ikasal?
naman. Actually, hanggang ngayon, parang kapag maraming mga site, ngayon naman with children naman. Kasi dati
Ah,
parang, oh, kailan na ba kayo ikakasal? Ang tagal-tagal nyo na ni Josh. Bakit hindi pa kayo magpakasal? Ganyan, ganyan. Ngayon naman, what I'm getting is, hindi pa ba kayo mag-aanak? Matanda ka na? Tapos parang, wait lang, don't, ako dati, parang medyo na-offend ako. Pero ngayon, parang I realize na feeling ko it becomes a conversation starter. Alam mo
yeah.
yun? Siguro parang pinapagpasensyahan ko na lang sila pag may
Mhm.
mga ganon. I think, people cannot affect you if you do not allow them to affect you.
I love that so much. That's
Ayun.
very true.
Oo, parang hindi ko naman sila kailangang awayin. Parang inward ko na siya tinitignan. So tips on
Mhm.
how to deal with people, I guess, ako mindset kasi parang ano ba? Ayoko na kasi silang school, alam mo 'yun. Lalo yung mga titas, titos, lolos, lolas, ganyan. Parang yun na yung nagpapasaya sa kanila eh. Parang ako, sige na, ayoko nang pahabain tong conversation. Parang sasabihin ko
Yeah.
ng, oo nga eh, ganun. Pero alam mo yan, usually when I get comments na, kailan ka ba manganganak, kailan kayo magbe-baby, ganyan, ganyan. Sabi ko, kailangan ko munang magtrabaho para sa anak ko. Ayokong magutom
Yeah.
yung anak ko balang araw.
Mhm.
Ganun. So,
Buti naman na like you take it lightly now.
yes, yes.
Mhm.
Oo. How about you? Does it still affect you, yung mga ganyang comment?
I think I it doesn't really affect that much because I'm still pretty young. Alam mo yun, like I mean, okay, to be fair, my parents got married at 26 and I'm turning 26 this year. So, it's kind of there, but at the same time, um ako naman, alam ko naman sa sarili ko yung gusto kong mangyari. And right now, it's not marriage. And even if I wanted it, sino? Nasaan? Meron ba akong option? I don't think so. So I think I just take it as, okay, I guess this is how people want to talk to me. And I can't really blame them because it's the natural curiosity. But I always, communicate also now, oh, I have other things going on in my life. And sometimes I want to explain it. Sometimes I don't have time to explain it.
Right.
But when I do, I try to communicate, no, ito yung dreams ko. So, parang I'll take control of the conversation and lead it elsewhere na parang, oh,
Mhm.
yeah, I'm still working on a lot of things and hindi pa ako ready. So, ayun, I think it's a good way to kind of dodge the topic.
Right. Oo.
Yeah.
Without
Mhm.
offending them, I
Yeah,
think.
without offending them. Kasi sometimes, it's well-meaning. It doesn't have to
Mhm.
end up in an argument, but
Right.
it does get tiring. It gets really tiring.
Totoo. Kapag may
And
mga reunions and Christmas and alam mo yun.
nakakatawa nga kasi that's how one of my best sellers in Morena started. Yung I like my tan tita.
Ang cute-cute
I
talaga
wore that shirt.
nun. Sobrang
Yeah,
nagre-resonate din talaga siya for me. Yung parang, "Oh, nag-beach ka na naman. Ang itim-itim mo na naman." Gano'n. "Oh, ang tumaba ka ba?" "Hello. Hi, okey naman
that's
ako. Okey naman
why.
ako so far."
Yun yung passive-aggressive way ko of answering that. Maybe I should, like, single pa po ako, tita. Ayoko po ng jowa, tita.
I love my singlehood, tita.
Anything that ends with a tita, just sell it as merch.
True.
I love that. Okay, next question is from Nikki Naps. Do you think age matters? Do you guys have like an age gap or anything,
3
or
years. 3
oh,
years yung gap
3 years?
namin ni Josh. For me, age doesn't matter, but your level of maturity does. So it doesn't matter
Amen.
what age you're in, as long as you and your partner's maturity levels click. Alam mo yun,
Mm-hmm.
parang, kasi meron namang ibang bata pang guys, pero okay naman mag-isip. Alam mo yun.
Yeah,
Meron din namang mga matatanda na, pero isip bata pa rin. Ganun. So, I don't think it
totoo.
matters. For me personally.
Yeah, especially if like later down the road, in your 30s, tas let's say a 20-year age gap, like 30-year-old, 50-year-old, at some point medyo magpapantay na rin kayo and you'll catch up and you'll be fine. What I don't think is okay though is, for example, a really large age gap for maybe halimbawa 10 years. Tas the girl is like 18, 19, tapos ang guy is 15 years older or like way 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 older. And not it's not because it's not exactly illegal or anything. It's fine. It's completely fine. If you can handle yourself, go ahead. But I just feel like medyo nagiging at a disadvantage yung girl or whoever's younger, maybe not necessarily a girl, kasi I'm speaking from experience, by the way, because I was 22 when I had my ex, and it was a good relationship. It was fine, but it didn't work out. However, if things had worked out and I had gotten married at 22, now I'm saying this as somebody who's 25 and looking back in hindsight na to, like at that moment, it was fine. And I still think, I have no regrets whatsoever, but thank God it didn't work out. Thank
Buti
God.
na lang.
Buti na lang talaga. Because now, like 4 years later, I'm looking back at it. I'm like, oh, what? What was I thinking? There was so much more, ahead of me na sana inalam ko muna. Kasi my ex was like 12 years older than me.
Hmm.
And well, that's fine. Ang ayoko lang dun is ang dami niya na na-experience na I didn't even get to. He traveled so much, and he had, he lived alone, he had his own house, everything, like he was fine. And I was at the phase in my life na I needed all the focus to build my career, build my own stability, build my own self-esteem. So it was a very, to be fair, it was a very healthy relationship. But I wish, ayun nga, it, I would have gone into it with more clarity. And at 22, I didn't have that much clarity yet. So maybe down the line, baka magbago yung isip ko, ganyan. Pero now in hindsight, I think if you're younger, as in like a lot younger, I'm not saying like just a couple of years younger. I'm like, as in like younger. Medyo be cautious because you need to look out for yourself as well. And ayun nga, medyo ang dami pang mangyayari. So it's kind of hard. But yan, large age gaps, eventually it works out. But hopefully, when you get into it, alam mo yun, meron ka ng clarity of mind and not confusion. Kasi it's
Totoo.
hard,
Clarity is
'di ba?
really important. I agree.
Mhm.
Okay, for our next question from Kaiseline Santos Evardone. What does a mature guy looks like for you guys? Ikaw.
Ooh, gusto ko 'to. Kasi ako, I only look for, like, maturity as at the top of my list. Kasi
Mm,
nga, 'di ba, mahirap na nakaka-stress maging therapist for ano,
truly.
or a teacher for an immature guy. Ako, to me, it's somebody who knows what matters to him. Especially if what matters to him is, relationships with his family, with his friends, his career trajectory, if he knows what he wants. Kasi ang mahirap dyan if you're with somebody na clueless pa sa anong gusto niyang gawin. If somebody is driven, if they know their purpose, what they want, then, it will reflect then sa actions nila. And in the same way how they deal with you. So, to me, makikita ko naman if a guy knows na, oh, what I want is, uh, like, I want to date around and then I want to get to know you, see where this goes, but no expectations. If he can clearly communicate that from the get-go, tapos, ayun, yeah, I think that's how I can say a guy is mature.
Yeah, oo. Very important nga talaga yung communication. And for me, I agree. Parang someone who knows what he wants is a mature guy for me. Yung hindi kayo makikipaghulaan with him and stuff. And one factor, I think, na masasabi kong mature yung guy is pag hindi siya seloso.
Ah,
Ewan ko, for
yes.
me personally, if he's confident about my values, na alam mo yun, parang he knows na this woman knows what she's doing, and when she fucks up, I know. Eh, kumbaga parang, keber, ganon. I
Mhm.
mean, hindi naman sa walang pakialam na kind ng seloso. Pero alam mo yun, parang ayoko nang tinatanong ako ng nasan ka, sinong kasama mo, anong number ng kasama mo, anong
Oh
oras
my
ka uuwi.
gosh.
Alam mo yun, parang I've had enough of my parents being so strict. I can't have another parent by my side. Alam mo yun? Wait lang, I love my parents. Please don't get me wrong. Love na love ko talaga sila. But, yun nga.
But you're
One
also 30 now.
And I'm also 30 now. Ayan. Yun nga, ayoko ng seloso talaga. Kasi alam mo yun, if
Mhm.
he trusts me and he's confident kung anong klaseng babae ako na hindi naman ako pariwara or anything, alam mo yun. So, hindi niya kailangang magselos. What else?
Tsaka
Meron pa
ikaw
ba?
rin naman, like, you yourself, you're not selosa.
No,
So,
I'm not.
syempre, you want somebody who can act the same way. Lalo
Totoo.
na, alam mo yan, you're very clear with what you want. And if he can go with that and really trust that, believe in that. Syempre, if you're gonna be in a relationship anyway, if why be with someone you can't trust? Ako, yun yung my main philosophy is if I feel jealous, if I feel like I can't trust you, then I don't want to be with you.
Love it.
Ang dali lang, I don't know. I think yun yung parang elimination method ko. Like parang, oh,
Yes.
this guy, I can't trust him. It's never gonna work out. Bye! Ganun lang.
Okay, kids, take notes.
Ganun lang. Madali lang.
Oo, totoo yun.
Next question is from Hannah Papelleras. Parang Spanish. I love it. My question is for Ate Ayin. How do you stay happily single? I
Yes.
love this question because I took a long time before I found out how to do it. Well, first things first, I discovered all of my hobbies, as in my own interests, my own routines. I had to build a life for myself that was decided by me. Because for a long time, I've been dependent on other people's opinions, and not just relationships, but also, my circle. Parang I always depended on ano bang cool or ano bang enjoy nila, ano bang magugustuhan ng audience ko. So, when I started on this journey to happy singlehood, parang I had so much fun exploring so many new things. I started traveling solo. I started rock climbing, hiking, going on so many trips. I reconnected with friends. And then, slowly by slowly, oh my gosh, all the empty
I
parts
got
of me,
mm,
all the empty parts of me that I used to fill with, other people, with relationships. I fill that with other things that made me happy on its own. Like happiness that can stand on its own, like public speaking. Super na-enjoy ko siya. And when you enjoy something so much, you get so distracted. You forget there's something wrong, quote unquote, with being single. Kasi parang we're conditioned na if you're single for a long time, there's something wrong with you. But actually, there isn't, something wrong
totoo.
with you. So over time I've learned to stop obsessing with the fact that I'm single and instead fill my life with all the other good stuff na andyan lang sa paligid. As in, sobrang mas low maintenance mag-attend ng club meetings ko sa Toastmasters, which is my public speaking organization, by the way. Mas low maintenance pumunta doon kesa sa date nights. Mas low maintenance pumunta sa rock climbing gym kesa sa, maghanap ng date sa Tinder. As in, sobrang low maintenance, mahalin yung sarili ko na ngayon, I have more time for other things. And so that's how I started, with my business, with my YouTube channel, with this podcast. Sa tingin nyo ba, kung nagsimula ako neto, tapos may jowa ako, do you think we would ever be here like 10
Totoo.
weeks in?
Grabe.
Grabe.
That is
Ang
so
hirap kasi.
empowering, Ayin. Tama talaga na parang we have been primed by the society na parang, wala kang jowa. Bakit? Ano ka ba? Baliw ka ba? Or ano ba? Alam mo
Yeah.
yun, parang it's not supposed to be like that because in the first place, it's your responsibility to love yourself. And parang you can't demand other people who has to do that for you. Alam mo yun? Parang dapat this is me. Alam mo yun, yung sa Greatest Showman,
Uh,
grabe talaga, umiiyak ako lagi doon na
I
parang,
love that.
oh, I love that movie. Ayun.
Gusto ko yung sinabi mo yung like, we can't expect other people to love us, ganyan. Parang, even if it were your partner, you can't hold them. As in, like, yung effort mo to look at this other person and think, you need to love me. You need to accept this part of me. Parang, if your energy is always focused on, okay, ina-accept niya ba ako? Or, it's so exhausting. You need to be your own person. And if you find someone who's compatible with you, who is, like, it feels effortless and it feels good to try to make things work with the other person, as opposed to feeling like you have to change yourself. Parang that's when you know na, okay, this is good. Kasi you're not altering everything just to fit into another person's life. It's like, I have my own life, they have their own life, and we work together. That's great. And that's what I want. So medyo mataas yung standards ko. So until I find that, I'm not gonna settle. So yan. So I'm definitely pro getting married and pro, having a relationship. But I know the kind that I want. And so far I haven't seen it yet. So next. Thank you,
Yes.
next.
Grabe, parang at 25, ano ba ako? Siguro mga 23 kasi naging kami ni Josh 24 ako eh. So, parang hindi ganyan yung thinking ko. Kaya parang, wow, at least I'm happy na at this stage, ganitong level ka na. I mean, yeah, you have to be your own persona talaga eh. So, good job,
Madam,
Ayn.
if you get engaged at 22, yun talaga mangyayari. You
Oh my
mature quickly.
God.
Wala kang choice because, yeah, oh my gosh. Can I just say, like, before I got to the point na, I'm very happy with myself and I'm confident na I can make my decisions and stand by them, ganyan, ganyan. Before, before matanggal yung leaning ko towards nasa na yung jowa ko, it took me like a major, major heartbreak, lipat ng bahay, lipat ng country, mga ganong level ng ano. Kaya I was kind of forced to grow up. And so it took a lot of introspection and a lot of learning talaga to get here. But ayun nga, hopefully you will learn from my mistake instead.
Diba? That's so nice. So empowering. Galing.
Thanks, madam. We're here
Love it.
now.
Yes. Yeah. So for our next question from Estef Gabuna. Ito, feeling ka magugustuhan mo to. What
Ay,
red flags should you be watching out during a date?
ay nako, ang
Ano ba yung
dami.
mga red flags mo?
Okay, so maybe on the literal, like medyo mas specific red flags. So first date, let's say I go on a first date, I always look at how they treat service professionals. So
Totoo.
waiters, guards, ganyan. How do you deal with other people? That's number one. Kasi makikita mo how they act. And if it's off, I always, ako, off na talaga. And then, so let's say magkwentuhan na kami about our life, ganyan. And he talks badly about his parents or his family, as in pag tinrash talk niya yung family niya. I mean, like, it's always a thing. You have your childhood pains and that always happens. Pero for you to talk to a stranger about your family badly, that's when I'm like, I don't know about this. I don't like this that much. Ayun, yun yung top two off the top of my head. Ikaw, what do you think are the most obvious
To
red
be honest,
flags?
yun lang din. Yun din yung, as in, two points lang din for red flags. Yun nga, when he's mean to the service crew, yun talaga. Eh kasi ako, di ba, hospitality ako. So, I
Mm.
really know, parang nag-wait, naging a service crew din ako. Alam mo yan, parang pinagdaanan ko talaga yan lahat. And I know the feeling na, alam mo yun, na hirap-hirap mag-ano eh. Hindi siya madali. And when someone is mean to a service crew, dun talaga, parang, ay hindi. Zero to for me. Nope, nope, ganon.
May naisip akong isa pa.
Go.
When a guy feels na they say, sometimes they think it's a good thing when they say this, but I don't like it when they say you're out of my league or you're too good for me, or as in you're too anything. If you're too anything, especially early on, I'm like, whatever, you can't handle me. Because I don't want to be too anything for anyone. Because in reality, I'm not too anything. Like, I'm just, this is me. Like, I like the level of drive that I have. I like the level of personality that I have. And if a person expresses apprehension towards my personality or my lifestyle early on, then it just, to me, it would show na hindi niya ma-handle in the long run. And it's either aayawan niya or he'll try to change me, which I don't want. So, ayun. I just want to be right. Like, I want to
Truly.
be accepted for who I am.
Yes. Ganon talaga dapat, di ba?
Nasabihan ka na ba ever na you're too something?
Nung kabataan ko, I was told na parang yun nga, I'm dreaming too much. Kaya, wow, ang laki naman ng dreams mo. Nung una, parang I felt it was a compliment. Pero parang nung medyo nag-mature na tayo, parang sabi ko, wait lang, who are you to tell me I'm dreaming too much? If you can't handle me, you're not my target market.
I love that phrase. You're not my target market. You know what they say na ayoko talaga? When they say ambisyosa. As if ambisyosa is a bad thing. Ambisyosa is a great thing. I think
Oo.
if you're ambitious, you go for big things other people won't. And I
Exact.
think people say ambisyosa because for their standards, it's not possible for them. But like, why do you have to, ba't mo ko idadamay sa limits mo sa sarili mo?
The nerve.
So, if you're ambitious, be ambitious. And anyone who will say you're too much is wrong. So,
Truly.
again, thank you next.
Yes.
Okay, next question is from Sheila May So. Bust the myth, or at least give an opinion on this. If you are friends with your ex, it's either you still love each other or that you really didn't love each other at all. Personally, I think that's BS, but I am looking for a kakampe. Are you a kakampe?
Well, kasi ako, I've never been friends with any of my exes. Parang lahat ano talaga eh. Wala talaga.
Talaga?
As in, super duper cut, sorry, bye. Ganon.
Oh my
So ako,
gosh.
um, ako kasi parang feeling ko face lang na dumaan sila sa buhay ko. Parang they're there to give me lessons in life. Ganon. Give me
But
more
does that mean
wisdom.
ano? Does that mean you okay, oh, tama, tama.
Okay. Oh, yun. So, it doesn't necessarily mean that we didn't love each other. I mean, oo, we loved each other. It's just that it did not work out. So, ako kasi I can't relate because I've never been friends with any of my exes. But you know what's weird? I'm friends with Joshua's ex-girlfriends.
Because you're a nice person.
Girlfriends. Hindi, kasi ano, parang same circle. Tapos they
Mm,
are really nice people as well. Kasi magkaka-hunch ka naman na parang, ay, parang meron pa tong something. Ganon. So,
mm.
sila, parang hindi naman. So, tsaka ano, sobrang pabait and okay naman din talaga silang mga
That's
babae. So,
good.
yeah. Except of course for the last ex na kinwento ko last episode. Kung curious kayo sa kwentong yun.
Check
Episode
out our
9. Ay,
last
episode
episode.
10.
Yes, nasa 11 na tayo.
Ayan, how about you? What's your
I-
take on this?
I'm friends with all of my exes.
Talaga?
Yeah, I'm in good terms with all of them. And I think, I'm makakampi. I agree na parang it's a myth kasi I think it's very possible to be friends but also recognize that your chapter is over. Kasi I don't know, maybe it's because I can detach myself from feelings or kung ano man problems. And ang good thing kasi with me, with my previous breakups, it was never because of like a cheating or an extremely bad thing na hindi ko turn away from or hindi ko makakalimutan. Like, yung mga pinag-awayan namin, it was mostly nakakalimutan siya kasi nga it wasn't really that bad. Even the last guy, my ex-fiance, as in, even if that didn't work out, we're still friends because it's like, yeah, it's the best thing we could have done for ourselves, and good for you. I wish you the best. So sometimes when he sees like a news article about the Philippines, he'll message me and ask me, "Oh, how are you guys doing there?" Ganyan. Tapos, and I can still feel friendship, or I can still have that friendship with them without feeling like ano ba 'to, ano 'yun, na in love pa rin ako. Ewan ko, or maybe kasi hindi ako gano'n na ka-emotional. Medyo
Siguro
yung
kasi it
Virgo
also
side
depends
ko.
on the kind of breakup you
That's true, that's
had.
very
Kasi 'di
true.
ba parang
Mm.
ewan ko, parang if your ex was really really mean to you, like sinasaktan ka niya physically.
Oo
For example,
naman.
hindi naman nangyari sa akin 'yun, thank
Mm.
God. Pero ano, alam mo 'yun, parang how can you even friends with that guy? How can
That's
you even
true.
be friends with that guy? So, ewan ko,
Yeah.
depende pa rin talaga sa situation.
Yeah, I agree. I think it depends on the how you guys ended. Because if it
Mm.
ended in a way na you can recover from it and you are able to see now, okay, you can wish them well, then good for you. Pero if it was bad na they had a really bad effect on you, then wale na. Pero I think if you're friends with your ex, that doesn't necessarily mean either hindi mo siya ever minahal. Oh, kaya mo maging friends. Parang,
Mm.
no. Like, I think I did, love them. But at the same time, I'm ready to move on. And I think I do care, pero I'm not involved anymore. I'm not attached. So, I guess, yun, nasa ano rin yun. I think if we say na yun nga, it's either you love each other or you didn't love each other at all. I feel like that's very we don't give ourselves enough credit to emotionally heal, and now we're very emotionally able beings. Parang, like humans can recover from these things, and yeah, I think it's very doable. Depende sa inyong dalawa.
Totoo,
Swerte
totoo.
ako, swerte ako. My high school boyfriend, yung sister niya, she's actually here. She was one of the people who asked, Katrina Santos. She's
Ang
she's my
cute!
ex's little sister, and it's so funny kasi like I still talk to the sister a lot again, and my high school ex, as in wala, we're still friends. As in we don't really talk that much or anything, pero like if he ever needs anything, like he can talk to me, ganyan. Pero there's nothing there. So,
Walang
yeah,
antig, walang
walang
kilig.
ganun ganun. Wala. Or maybe that's the kind of person I am. Kasi wala na.
Totoo.
When I say
Gets na,
there's
oo.
gone, it's gone, it's gone. Do you ever, like, have you ever gone back to an ex? Alam mo yun, yung nagkakabalikan sort of thing.
Wala, wala
Ako
talaga.
din. If it's
Ako
over,
'pag
it's
no,
over.
no, sorry, bye.
Ay nako, sabi ko talaga eh, sana everyone can just be like us. Charot.
'Di ba? Ewan ko
Just
kasi
make
sa
good
feeling ko
decisions.
din ano, mindfulness din talaga is really
That's
important
true.
na parang accepting the things na you can't just change. Alam mo yun,
Mhm.
parang, okay.
I think yun nga, like what we talk about here on the podcast, mindfulness, being intentional, that's not just for productivity and work. That can also be about your relationships. And if you go into any kind of relationship, whether it's a friendship or your relationship with your family or a significant other, if you know within yourself like your intentions and you're in control of your emotions, like anything, making decisions is much easier. Yeah.
Amen.
Amen. Meron ka bang gems for this week?
Oh my gosh, parang wala nga eh. Parang nag-breeze through lang 'tong week na 'to sa'kin.
Meron pala akong gem. Do you know Amy Jo Martin?
No, no, no.
So her podcast is called Why Not Now? Why not now? So it's all about like business and entrepreneurial stuff. But at the same time, last night I listened to their episode with her husband who works with her. So they work together, they live together, and they have a kid. So, wala lang, nagustuhan ko lang dun sa episode na yun. Because at first I was gonna skip the episode kasi parang, ugh, this is not for me. Like, I'm not a married couple. So,
Mhm.
bakit ako nakikinig sa ganitong episode? Pero it really, uh, I don't know, I think I learned na parang when you're obviously working with a significant other, you're dealing with a lot of overwhelm, and that's not just applicable to married couples. It's for anyone. Like anyone has to deal with overwhelm, and what they said na you have to do is number one, you need to separate feelings from facts. So, especially with relationships, with work decisions, anything major na you feel overwhelmed by, you need to step back and think, okay, ano yung dito yung feeling ko ganito? Ano yung totoo actually na nangyayari? So, that was really good for me kasi I'm always overwhelmed by my feelings. I'm like, oh my gosh, this feels like too much. I feel like I can't do it. But then when you look at the facts and you break down the tasks, you think, oh, okay, this one will take 2 hours. This one will take 15 minutes. It's very doable. and it's not a problem at all. So ayun, I learned it from a married couple, even though I was so tempted to skip the episode, pero it
It.
worked, I guess. It worked.
Oh, nice. Oo nga, no? Kasi parang yun nga, if you, ano ba, think about the big projects talaga, yun talaga mahirap. And then parang you feel like, if you don't break it down to little to-do lists, it doesn't make you feel like may nagagawa ka.
Totoo.
Kunwari, if you think na ang to-do list mo is launch ideology studio, parang, oh my God, sobrang overwhelming nga nun. But if you list down all of the things na, for example, buy a website, or upload photos, talk to clients, ganun. Parang, kapag ako kasi, ewan ko, very much happy ako with to-do
Checklist.
lists and checklists. So, yeah, I thrive in checklists. Sige nga, I have to check that out.
Thank you so much for joining us here today on Camp Confidence Radio. Please don't forget to share and tag us on Instagram at Camp Confidence Radio if you're tuned in.
And if you want to be part of our future episodes, please join us on Facebook. That's facebook.com/groups/Camp Confidence to join discussions and to submit community questions.
You can also follow me, Ayin, at Ayin Bernos, at Morena the Label, and at ideology.studio on Instagram.
And me, Rizza, at Rizza Lana, at lana.ph, at mink.ph on Instagram. And we will see you guys on the next one.
Bye!
Bye! Have a great week ahead!